Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value. If you guys are looking for undervalued investment opportunities, click subscribe, join the channel, join our community. Let's ride this thing higher together. So, we got uranium. We're gonna do some technical analysis on uranium. I think they're looking pretty good. I expected this sector to pull back at some point, like a decent sized pullback, and we're just not getting it. And it looks like, I'll show you in the charts, that we're almost setting up to perhaps even go higher. So let's take a look. Here's uranium. It is one of my favorite sectors. We're going to chart it out, and uranium companies are what are going to be charted. This is financial education only. You guys are going to have to do your own due diligence, to see if this stuff fits in your financial strategies in your portfolio. So this is not advice. You guys are going to have to be responsible for your own decisions here. So here's URNM. This is North Shore Global Uranium Mining ETF. I've got to throw the pattern in, where we're coming up right on this high, and it looks like we're just peeking through. Now, all we need is another good strong day, up day, and we're out of this kind of resistance area. This we'll call it sticky area of buyers and sellers. So I mean, we're right there at the top. We just got to get pushed over the top. That's it. The volume down there, quite impressive. Here's CCJ, Camco. That guy already went and pushed up. So, I mean, you could draw this. Let me pop out here. You could draw it like this, where it's coming up to this point, and sometimes when you draw it like this, you could say it's got a high probability of dropping out to the downside and having a little bit of a pullback. This isn't a huge chart pattern where it could pull back a little bit, but looking at URNM, looking at some of these other companies, it could also move on to the upside depending on how you draw this. So I think it looks good. There's nothing too much to worry about. Just watch it. If this thing breaks down, we might have a little bit of a pullback for a little bit. If it goes to the upside, you might see it run. So we're right there. We've got Encore Energy. I mean, this one looks good too. I'm trying to look at this from both perspectives: a bear, a bull. I mean, I'm a super bull, but I'm trying to see if this, when this thing could potentially pull back, and it's just unrelentless, barely moving sideways at best. You come up, you kind of move sideways to slight down, and it just keeps popping higher, popping higher. This one, it's not really pulling back much at all. You've got the large candlestick up days with the small little down days. That's a signature move to go higher. We are contracting in candlestick length or candlestick body length, which means that the buyers are starting to equal the sellers. And I think at some point here, we're going to break either, I think, to the upside versus the downside. But we'll have to see which way this thing breaks. It looks like it's just consolidating up into a point, and then usually you have a break. You'll see like a big couple of up days or a down day, either one. We got to see what the buyers and sellers, who's going to win at this price. And if you're on the channel, I'm going to chart this stuff out. We'll see it. Here's UU. This is the way that I'm looking at it. Is I think we're developing a cup and kind of maybe a sideways or a little handle here. And then I think we'll break to the upside through this resistance line. So this is very, very common to have like this little cup pattern, and then it develops a little handle. We've got a large up day and two little small down days here. So that's an indication that it probably wants to go higher. The buyers are in control. Here's URG. You can draw a line across here if you want. It broke out to the upside, and it's just kind of meandering sideways. When the money comes rushing in, or we get some FOMO, if these break to the upside, I think people are going to start coming in and buying stock. DNN, we've got the pattern here. It broke to the upside of this pattern, and it looks fantastic to continue higher. So if you're in it, I wouldn't do anything. Just hold on. and be patient. And if you want to buy it, I mean, that's up to you. Next Gen Energy, we broke this pattern to the upside, came up, back tested. There's your bearish engulfing. And then we had the nice wick at the bottom, signaling that there's buyers, and we're going to push this thing back up to support level. And then we're coming, I think we're going to be heading higher. This is sideways to higher. So that looks good. Uranium Royalty Corp, I know some people were asking about this one. See, this pattern right in here, the two big down days and then the small little up days, I think you might see this pull back a little bit more. Maybe it pulls back to this line here. But if we see these things start to break the chart patterns and money flows in here, I think Uranium Royalty Corp is in some of these ETFs and money's going to flow into it. So the course of action that I would take, I mean, we're still kind of in this downtrend a little bit, but I mean, it's up to you. If you like it, I always do the cost averaging strategy. Would you be bad to cost average in right here? Well, it was a high of 380. We're down about 299. That's not a bad spot. It's almost $1 off of its highs. So I'd slowly move into it if I wanted to buy it. Here's Fission Uranium Corp. This thing it's coiling up, man. Look at this thing coil up. It's getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. We got a bullish, almost a bullish piercing here. You could almost consider it. Every time it gets down to this line, though, this is a bullish engulfing there. Wants to go higher. I think it's ready to break at any time. I think it's going to go to the upside. So Fission's looking pretty good. Goviax, trying to draw in patterns that are similar to other patterns in the sector. Looks like we're kind of just bopping sideways here. We do have a lot of red candlesticks in here. We'll see which way this breaks, upward or downward. But hopefully we break to the upside with the rest of the sector. Bannerman, it already broke its pattern. We're kind of driving sideways here. Nice big hammer. Still looks good, sideways to up. Deep Yellow, looking fantastic. This is kind of a cup and handle pattern. I think any second now we're about to break to the upside. Any second. Here's Global Atomic. Again, this thing's just in a strong uptrend. You can basically buy it anywhere and be okay. I wouldn't be, I mean, it's up there. I mean, it's definitely from 50 cents all the way to 266. So it's up to you if you want to get it. Here's Pierpoint Uranium. I kind of just drew a line in here. Looks about right. We've got lots of selling pressure right here. We blew through it on a large volume day. Came back down, and we just had to touch the line a couple more times. Do a little back test, retest. It looks good right here. 10 cents, doesn't look too bad. This is an exploration company up in Canada. Does carry a lot more risk. I don't put as much money in these. So I just have a little bit of money. They're explorers. And I view it as if it were to go to zero, I'm okay. But if they find something, could really go higher. Here's Canalaska, drawing the trend line. This thing has the traits of the buyers being in control everywhere. Bullish engulfing, small pullback. Big moves higher, small pullbacks. Bullish engulfing. The small little sell-off, leak off of sellers, hits the trend line, popped higher, 7.43%. Good, nice move. Looks good, looks good. This is an exploration company. Exploration companies carry a lot more risk, so I wouldn't be loading up in it, but I do own a little bit in Canalaska. Sky Harbor, we're doing that cup and handle pattern, it looks like, where you put in this cup, and then you hit your head on it, and it kind of pulls back just a little bit before going and trying to break through this pattern. You can draw a lower trend line here. So this looks good. This looks like we're putting in all these patterns that we want to break to the upside for the majority of these companies. Here's Baseload. Draw the downtrend line in. It broke to the upside, 5.26%. Just like we thought it was. If you're on the channel, this one looks good to run. It could backtest. We could see a down day backtest and run higher, or we could see it just run. So it looks good. Here's Azincourt. Azincourt. So when you look at these patterns here, you can see this quite a bit. What happens is you get this large breakout. So there's probably resistance all through back here. You get this big breakout on volume, so it breaks out. And then what happens is you get a leak off of sellers, and it goes all the way back down to about where this spot is. And it just touched it right here. I actually bought it right this day. I bought a little bit. Just a little bit. This is an Explorer. I'm not loading into it. Don't worry. Just a teeny bit. And we'll see what happens. If it breaks out of this pattern, we could see it kind of march higher with the rest of the uranium sector. Here's ALX Uranium Corporation, or ALX Corporation. I think they might have changed their name. We've got this pattern here. It's a small exploration company. It's not just uranium. Came back down, hit its line, popped back a little higher. We're still in this area. I have a feeling that we've got some more time before it moves on higher in this pattern. Here's International Consolidated Uranium Corp. Looks pretty good. It's had a massive run from 30 cents. Broke the downtrend line, and now we're creating this uptrend line, I think. And it looks good. UEXCF, small exploration company. Downtrend break, bounced off of it twice. Nice little bottom here, and we're launching higher. It looks pretty good. UEC, I like looking at the big picture view on some of these. Downtrend or resistance line, downtrend broke it. We're coming on up, and we are consolidating into this large flag pattern. If I were to buy it, I'd buy it in the flag pattern, as some of the other companies in the sector are breaking to the upside. I have no reason why this wouldn't break to the upside, and I'd buy it before the break, because sometimes these breaks are pretty big. So it's better to get it at 10 or 15% discount, because sometimes when they break, they move 10%, 8%, 15%, and it could move quite a bit. So I'm in the camp that you buy if things are breaking to the upside. If we already see some of these leaders like NextGen Energy, Camco, like if they're breaking, these guys are going to probably break next. So I cost average in like I normally do. If you like these companies, and then you just hold on. You wait for them to break these patterns over and over and over. That's the play. And the more you start trying to trade in and out, I just didn't work for me last time. I'm not doing it. And I know you guys, you try to listen to Rick Rule, you try to listen to these other people. When they say something's overvalued, don't get afraid. The whole sector is undervalued. He's talking about the price of the uranium companies in relationship to the current price of uranium. Sure, they're overvalued, but people are anticipating that the price has to move higher, and it has to move higher. So why would you value something where the price has to go double? Now, are these junior uranium companies, are they overvalued at $60 per pound? No, they're not. And when the price of uranium moves, these are all going to be, it's like they're going to get like injected with NOx, right? Nitrous oxide. And they're going to jet higher, I think, because people are going to get excited. You're going to get more greed, more people moving into the sector. So right now, people are looking at the uranium price going, it's dead. It's dead. Why would you go in that? And it's like, why wouldn't you? If the price has to go higher, you'd buy it now versus waiting for everyone else to pile in. Why would you want to be after them? So I bought a while back, the majority of my stakes. I bought in like the October, November timeframe of 2020. And that's when I piled into a lot of these. So that's where I bought. And I've been cost averaging into the sector with small amounts of money, increasing positions when they look good or before they break patterns. So that's been my approach. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.